If you've been told that you have anger issues and that your rage is toxic and that you overreact and that you just need to calm down, they're wrong. That explosive anger you feel is actually sadness. It's a direct response to your childhood and a wound that is likely connected to your parents that you might not even realize is there. Imagine your kids do or say something that any child would do or say, and all of a sudden, for no reason at all, you just explode. You're not just annoyed, you actually go into a rage that feels completely out of your control. You're screaming, you're shouting, you're swearing. And that anger can be so powerful and sometimes so destructive. But when the rage or the anger calms down, it's replaced with guilt and shame. You're crying, you're asking yourself, why did I get so angry over something so small? What's wrong with me? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kully and I help high achievers overcome anxiety, feeling not good enough and feeling lost and lonely inside by healing the inner child and regulating the nervous system. If your reaction feels bigger than the situation, like something takes over you, then you're in the right place. And you're also not alone. In this episode, I'm talking about the intense rage you experience and its core roots. Now, let's be real here. You've been taught to control or suppress your anger. You've been taught as a child that anger is wrong or bad, but it's not. It's actually a natural human emotion, just like laughter or excitement. If you grew up with unprocessed childhood trauma, you're literally putting a lid on an active volcano that's just waiting to explode. Deep beneath the surface is unprocessed pain, fear, and neglect from in a time in your childhood where your nervous system, aka yourself, did not feel safe. That is the real source of your anger issues. The explosive rage you experience is the physical manifestation of that childhood pain. And the real issue is the pressure that's been building inside of you for years. Childhood trauma, especially emotional neglect or abuse from parents, dysregulates the nervous system. Think of it like this. Your body's alarm system is designed to keep you safe, and it's getting stuck in fight or flight. That's called hypervigilance. You're constantly scanning for the next threat, even if there isn't one. So when something minor happens, let's say a friend cancels plans or someone cuts you off in traffic, your nervous system doesn't see a small inconvenience. It actually registers a major threat. It reacts with a full-blown survival response because your initial wound has been triggered. Your anger comes from your childhood. Every time you felt helpless, every time you felt unseen, unsafe, or even unloved. And research confirms the more traumatic experiences in childhood, the higher levels of anger in your adult life. It's not because you're a bad person, it's because your system is overloaded. The anger is a signal that your body is still living in a state of past danger. Now add current life issues on top of it, and no wonder you're 2 weeks away from a breakdown. But to really understand this, let's talk about one of my clients, Harpreet. On the outside, Harpreet is a very successful woman. But Harpreet has a temper. A casual comment taken the wrong way can lead to a screaming match. But after the anger calms down, she's crying and breaking down. She feels shame and regret, feeling broken and out of control. But for years, the anger was a problem and she couldn't figure out why. But whilst going through my program, we realized the anger wasn't the problem at all. It's actually a symptom. You see, growing up, Harpreet's mum was physically present, but her dad wasn't. And both parents were actually emotionally unavailable. They provided food and a home, but not love or validation. When Harpreet was sad, she was told to stop being so sensitive. When scared, she was told not to worry about it and her fears were brushed off. She was also compared to her siblings quite a lot. And when this happens, a child begins to learn that your feelings don't matter and that vulnerability is actually dangerous. Sadness, fear, and the need for comfort become weaknesses that will be punished or ignored. So what is a child going to do? They're going to adapt to their environment, right? They're going to learn to protect themselves. And even as a child, the nervous system learns to use anger as a safety mechanism. It's called acting out. Anger becomes your shield, protecting the little girl or boy inside of you, the child within you who still carries that sadness and fear. And that's why you go off in a rage. Your inner child hijacks your adult body and just wants to be loved by mom or dad, if not both. And that's irrespective of who is on the other side of that anger. Harpreet's anger comes out every time a situation unconsciously touches that original wound, that wound of feeling unseen or unimportant. When her partner makes a slightly critical comment, she doesn't just hear the words, she hears, "You're not good enough." She feels that old sting of being invalidated. And that childhood sadness just rushes back up to the surface. And in a split second, the shield goes up, the sadness is instantly transformed into rage, and the anger yells, "How dare you disrespect me?" But the wounded inner child is crying and saying, "Please, just see me. Please, mom and dad, just tell me you love me." Now, I want to make this very clear. The anger could be aimed towards your parents, your kids, your partners, yourself, even work colleagues. But the source of your anger and sadness is always towards mom and dad. And the anger is very often a secondary emotion. Sadness is the primary emotion. Anger usually acts as the bodyguard for your sadness, the protector of your younger wounded self. And when you experience trauma in your childhood, whether it's years of chaos, emotional neglect, or outright abuse, your nervous system can't just get over it because your nervous system remembers it. And that trauma actually gets energetically stored within your nervous system. It then learns to live life in survival mode because it doesn't feel safe, aka you don't feel safe. Growing up in an unpredictable home teaches yourself and your body that the home and the world is not safe, and that people can't be trusted, and that danger can appear at any time. So your nervous system does what it has to do to keep you alive and to keep you safe. It becomes hyper alert, tense, and always ready for impact. In a healthy nervous system, your body can recognize a stressful moment and can return back to center and calm very easily. But in a trauma-based nervous system, that calm setting becomes harder and longer to come back to. Your body stays on edge even when there's nothing wrong. Your heart beats faster, your muscles stay tight, your breathing becomes shallow. Your thoughts race and you struggle to sleep because your nervous system is still reacting to an environment even if you left it years ago. It doesn't know the difference between now and then. It doesn't know that the danger is over. So even as an adult, your body feels like it's still living in that childhood home, scanning for tone changes, preparing for conflict, watching for the moment that the love from mom and dad gets taken away. This is why you stay stuck in fight or flight. This is why you feel on edge. This is why you have moments of rage, and why anxiety shows up for no apparent reason. You're not being dramatic. You're not overreacting. You are conditioned for survival in a war that ended a very long time ago. And maybe for you, you left one war zone and entered another one. And what I mean by that is a lot of my clients went and got married in their early 20s just to leave the chaos of their family homes. And what they didn't realize they were doing, they were actually walking into another war zone and another home full of trauma. But I'll save that for another episode. The good news is, however, anything your nervous system has learned for survival can be unlearned for safety. Anger in this context is a fight response. It floods your body with adrenaline and cortisol, preparing you to defend yourself, even if there's no danger. And as a helpless child, expressing this anger was likely too dangerous and had to be suppressed because you would have got shouted at or hit by your parents. So now as an adult, that suppressed energy finally has a way to be released. And when a trigger occurs, your nervous system screams attack without fully checking in with your rational brain. Then your body is flooded with stress hormones and the most available response is fight mode. The anger isn't actually even a conscious decision in that moment. It's actually a deep knee-jerk reaction rooted in your body's memory. Now you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I overcome this? And the answer is simple. Don't fight your anger. Don't shame yourself. Accept it and learn to listen to it. First, give yourself permission to feel it without judgment. Being angry and expressing your anger doesn't make you a bad person. It is a valid, logical response to your past experiences and a part of you that has tried desperately to protect you. So thank it for its protection. This shifts the dynamic from self-blame to self-compassion. And the next time you feel that surge of rage and you see red, once you've calmed down and you're back in your body, just try a very simple journaling exercise. And here's 2 prompts for you. Think about the last time you felt that rage or anger. What was the trigger? Write it down without judgment. And then ask, what's underneath that trigger? Look at that story and then ask yourself, when was the very first time in my life that I remember feeling this way? And try and trace the core feeling of being disrespected, of being bullied, dismissed, or neglected. Try and trace it back to your earliest childhood roots. This practice helps you recognize the anger as a signal. And the feeling underneath anger is always sadness. So really, you need to get to the root of your sadness. And this process involves connecting with your inner child, the younger version of you who would have first felt that wound. And it means offering your younger self the validation and safety that they never received. You can do this through journaling, sitting in silence for a few moments. You can say to your younger self, I see you, I love you, you were right to feel sad, you deserve to be heard. You can tell your younger self that I'm here now and I'll keep you safe. This is how you begin to build that safety within yourself. And as you heal that childhood wound, the anger no longer needs to be an explosive shield. It can become what it was always supposed to be, a healthy, functional emotion that helps you set boundaries and stand up for yourself in a respectful and measured way. Anger can be a tool. Your anger is not who you are. It's an amazing yet painful survival strategy. And it's a survival strategy that your younger self has developed that shows you're human. It's a shield designed to protect the most vulnerable parts of you. And it's the voice of a deep wound crying to be held, heard, and healed. If you can learn to understand the link between your adult reactions and your childhood experiences, and if you can learn to see the sadness behind the rage, then you can begin to change your relationship with yourself. And you can stop shaming the part of you that is angry and start listening to the part of you that is actually hurting. That's all I've got for you in today's episode. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone who might need to see it or hear it. And check this video out here where I talk about alcohol and drinking problems. And I'll see you in the next one.